There are certain events in a human life that are not merely events, they are earthquakes. They do not just happen in our world, they shatter the world itself. The death of a person we deeply love is one such earthquake. When they are gone, it is not just their presence that is lost. The future we had built with them in mind vanishes. The daily routines that were structured around them dissolve. The very meaning of our world, a world that was co-authored with them, collapses, leaving us standing in the rubble, disoriented, heartbroken, and utterly lost. Welcome to Existential Psychology Insights. Today we are going to talk about grief, and we are going to do so with the reverence and depth that this profound human experience deserves. If you are here because you are navigating this difficult path or seeking to understand it, know that this is a safe space for that exploration. I invite you to subscribe, to be part of a community that is not afraid to face life's deepest challenges. Our modern culture has a deeply uncomfortable relationship with grief. We treat it like a sickness, a problem to be solved, a temporary malfunction of the human machine that should be fixed as quickly and efficiently as possible. We are offered platitudes and timelines. We are told to be strong, to keep busy, and eventually to move on. But this approach, however well-intentioned, is a profound misunderstanding of what grief is. From an existential and psychological perspective, grief is not a sickness to be cured. It is a sane and necessary response to a devastating loss. It is the last and most profound act of love. To pathologize grief, to rush it, is to dishonor the significance of the person who was lost. The depth of your pain is a direct measure of the depth of your love. To expect that pain to vanish quickly is to ask that the love itself be rendered insignificant. The existential approach, therefore, is not to find a way out of grief, but to find a way through it, to allow it to do its necessary, transformative, and excruciating work. When we lose a loved one, we experience what can only be described as an existential crisis. It is a crisis of meaning. The person we lost was not just an object in our world, they were a central pillar of our meaning structure. They were our why. They were the person we shared our triumphs with, the one we turned to in our struggles. Our past is interwoven with their memory, and our future was imagined with their presence. When that pillar is removed, the entire edifice of our life's meaning can collapse. This is why grief feels so disorienting. It is not just sadness, it is confusion. The compass that guided our life has shattered. We wake up in the morning, and the question, "What is the point?" is no longer a philosophical abstraction, but a raw, visceral, and painful reality. This period of staring into the void, of feeling that nothing matters anymore, is a terrifying but normal part of the grieving process. It is the silence after the earthquake, when we are left to survey the wreckage. Our culture's greatest and perhaps most damaging myth about grief is the idea of moving on. This phrase implies that our loved one is a chapter to be closed, a place to be left behind as we journey forward. But this is not how love or memory works. The existential and therapeutic wisdom of our time suggests that the goal is not to get over the loss or to find closure in the sense of sealing a wound forever. The goal is to learn how to integrate the loss. It is to find a new way to live in a world that has been irrevocably changed, and to figure out how to carry the love for that person forward with us into that new world. It is a process of reconstructing a new life, a new meaning, a new why. And this process is slow, chaotic, and deeply personal. There are no neat linear stages as are often described. There are waves of sadness, moments of anger, periods of numbness, and surprising glimpses of gratitude and joy, often all in the same day. The journey is not about leaving the person behind. It is about transforming the relationship from one of physical presence to one of internal connection and enduring love. And here lies the profound, almost unbelievable paradox of grief. In the crucible of our deepest pain, in the heart of our greatest loss, can lie the seeds of our most significant growth. Psychologists call this post-traumatic growth. This is not to say that the loss was a good thing or that it happened for a reason. That is a cruel and simplistic notion. It is to say that human beings have a remarkable capacity to create meaning and to grow in response to tragedy. How does this happen? Profound loss forces us to confront the existential realities we might otherwise spend our lives avoiding. It shatters our trivial concerns and forces us to reevaluate what is truly important. People who have navigated deep grief often report a number of transformative changes. They develop a deeper appreciation for life, for the small, precious moments they once took for granted. They often find that their relationships with the living become more meaningful and authentic, as they are no longer willing to waste time on superficial connections. They often discover a new sense of personal strength, a resilience they never knew they possessed. And most importantly, they are often spurred to find or create a new sense of purpose, a new why, to guide their reconfigured life. This journey is one you should not have to walk alone. It requires immense support from friends, family, or professional counselors. But the internal work is yours to do. It involves the courage to feel your pain fully, without shame. It involves the patience to allow yourself to heal in your own time, without bowing to external timelines. And it involves the creative, courageous act of asking, given this unbearable loss, given that my world has shattered, what kind of new world will I now build from these ruins? How will I choose to honor the memory of the one I love by the way I choose to live the rest of my life? This is the heroic task of grief. It is not about forgetting or moving on. It is about remembering, honoring, and allowing the love for the person you lost to become a guiding star, illuminating the path as you slowly, bravely, and purposefully learn to walk in a new world.